Welcome to Virginia Mysteries. My name is Suede.
And my name is Matthew, and today, we're hopping into the eerie legend of the Bunnyman. Stay tuned for this disturbing, yet interesting episode.
Viewers' discretion is advised. The following stories are extremely violent in nature.
It was the calm night of February 24th, 1949. A couple by the names of Mr. and Mrs. Hobbler are driving down from D.C. to Fairfax to join a nudist colony. One more thing, they have an 8-month-old daughter with them. On the way, the car got stuck in some mud, the couple fought, they then split up from each other, but after that, Mrs. Hobbler and her 8-month-old daughter were never seen again.
God, that is crazy. What kind of man leaves his child and wife alone in a forest at night?
It gets worse. Mr. Hobbler left the area in the morning, and at 5 p.m. on February 25th, Mrs. Hobbler and her infant daughter were found murdered and placed in shallow graves. The mother was shot in the head once, and the baby was buried alive.
That's horrific. Was anyone arrested for these crimes?
Luckily, yes. Mr. Hobbler was subsequently convicted for these horrible crimes, and thank God, he received the death penalty.
Okay, then what?
But after a retrial, he was moved to a mental hospital and lived out the rest of his life. So in a way, he got away with it all.
So why did you choose this story for our episode today, Matthew?
Well, I believe this is where the legend of the Bunnyman started, with these murders. From there, the story was twisted and turned 1,000 different ways into the Bunnyman stories that we hear today.
Okay, first of all, we can't be jumping to conclusions like that. Second of all, our audience doesn't know who the Bunnyman is or what the legend is.
So tell them then.
So basically, a man waits in a bunny suit at a bridge in Clifton, Virginia for mischievous kids, trespassers, and young couples in cars. He terrorizes them with an axe and threatens to kill them, but you brought up an interesting point, Matthew. In every iteration of the Bunnyman that I've heard growing up, the Bunnyman was always an escapee from a mental hospital.
So, the story of the Hobblers is the original inspiration for the Bunnyman legend, right?
Not exactly, because I found a story that fits as a better starting point for the Bunnyman. So basically, in October of 1970, there were multiple sightings of the Bunnyman within days of each other. On October 22nd, 1970, a young cadet was parked in a car with his fiancée when an axe came flying through their window.
Wow.
The Bunnyman allegedly screamed at them for trespassing.
Wait, and that's it? That's the only example you have?
No, that's not it. 1 week later, on the night of October 30th, there was a spotting of a man in a bunny suit hacking away at a house under construction. When the man approached the Bunnyman reportedly said, "You're trespassing. If you come any closer, I'll chop your head off." According to the report, he was in his 20s, meaning he could still be alive today.
Wow. That's just so crazy to me. Like, in what world is a man dressed up in a bunny suit, like, terrorizing people for trespassing? That's almost, like, comical. But, I mean, I'm kind of surprised you had evidence to back up your claim. But, I don't know. How do we know that these reports aren't just attempts for fame by the people who reported it, you know?
I find it hard to believe that two separate accounts of the Bunnyman so close together were just planned publicity. I did forget to mention something though. Both cases were dropped at the police station due to lack of evidence. After all, these have been the only two somewhat official reports of the Bunnyman.
I mean, I get that though. If I was a police officer and someone came to me, said that there was a dude in a bunny suit yelling at them for trespassing, I probably wouldn't believe them either. But I'm still kind of surprised that there was only 2 reports. I was expecting you to bring more evidence with you because, I mean, I've heard dozens of different Bunnyman stories in my research.
I do actually. According to a 1973 study at the University of Maryland, at least 54 variations of the Bunnyman existed just from the original 2 sightings. Now, 51 years later, I am sure there are thousands of variations of this story.
I believe you, man. I mean, there are variations all across the world. Like, I used to live in Texas when I was younger, and I heard of Bunnyman stories there that are very different from these stories, and I've heard of Bunnyman stories going as far as Europe and England, just from the 2 original incidents. And let's not forget about all the movies that have been made about this.
Really? What movies?
Bro, we gotta watch them together, but there are like these 3 slasher horror movies that called like the Bunnyman massacres, and it's all about this legend. They're all really low budget, they're not very good, and the acting is pretty terrible. But if there's one thing I hope to see from this episode, it is a better Bunnyman movie in 2025, because we desperately need one.
I mean, I guess a movie would be nice, but the original legend is scary enough. I remember as a kid, my older cousins would tell me about the Bunnyman and try to scare me with the legend. I just can't help but think the Bunnyman was real, and maybe still is real. After all, he could still be alive.
So, if he really did exist, then yeah, he would still be alive. But to me, it just seems almost like a legend of some kind, like Bigfoot or Chupacabra, the Loch Ness Monster, kind of like a cryptid with no solid evidence. It just seems like a spooky bonfire story to me. But I mean, you did make a good point today, and if he did exist, he really could be alive. Regardless, I'd rather choose not to believe in him.
Well, thank you for listening, and make sure to let us know what you think about this mysterious Virginia legend.
This was Matthew.
And Suede.
And we'll see you in the next one.